Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing story 1 in my October daily album. So I did draw my first little material or technique option, and it is going to be heat embossing, which I've got stuff to do, but I hardly ever do it. So it's going to be a great first technique or material to use. So I'm just going to use plain black embossing powder, and I am documenting our first day of October spooky breakfasts. So I have the little dash waffle makers. I got them on Amazon, and I'll link them below if they're still available. But they've got this little pumpkin and skull. So I made a whole bunch of these for the kids this morning and took photos of it. And this is the story that I'm going to document today. So I've pulled out several things here. I've got my Distress embossing ink. This is the only embossing ink that I've tried, and I don't think I really like it too much. So if you've got a preferred embossing ink, let me know in the comments below so that I can check it out. This is the only one that I have and the only one that I've tried so far. I've pulled out some little gems from Pink Fresh Studio. I'm not sure which of these I want to use yet, if I want to use the gold or if I want to use these clear drop ones. I've got this number set from Ali Edwards. I'm going to use this, just a one off of this little set. And then I pulled this piece of paper out of, I think it was this year's Halloween kit from Ali Edwards. This is going to be the base of my story. I also have this boo from last year, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use it, but I did pull it out because it matched everything pretty well and I like it. This is also another thing that I'm not 100% sure if I will use or not. This is from the Studio Calico Halloween kit from this year, as well as these little tags, which I will be using, these little tags. And then for my embossing, I'm going to use this stamp set from Ali Edwards. This I purchased last year. If it's still available, I'll link it below. But I'm going to be using this one up here that says "So Thankful for This," and this Fall Memories one right here. And I'm going to be heat embossing those onto these teeny tiny little tags. So let's jump right into it. So I am just going to trim this down here to 5 inches. These little strips that I've been cutting off the sides of these Ali Edwards papers, I am keeping those. I'm sure that I will find something that I can do with them, either later on during this month or potentially next year, who knows. But I've been keeping those. So, since this is going to be story number 1, and I have the back of this page that I want to work on, I am going to hopefully remember that I need to punch holes in this side. I don't want to adhere this together right away because I don't want to deal with the bulk of my reason why portion of it. So, don't let me forget that I need to put holes on this side. Mostly so that I don't end up having to cut over any of my photos or anything like that. So my thoughts were to kind of have this laid a little bit like that. And then I would take these little tags and tuck them behind each photo here. And that would have the heat embossed phrase on it. Okay, so I'm going to start with my heat embossing. I don't actually have any of those fancy little tools to hold things while I'm heat embossing. So I'm just going to use these little tweezers that I got from the most recent Pink Fresh Studio card making event. So yeah, I'm going to use these to hold it and hope that that works out in my favor, not negatively for me, because I have a feeling I'm going to burn the heck out of myself. I've pulled out a scrap piece of paper. This is just what I'm going to lay my embossing powder on, and then use it to kind of put it back in its little area. And then I just have a little anti-static pouch. So far, this hasn't actually worked for me anytime I have used embossing powder. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm using it incorrectly. This could probably look a little bit better, but I think you can still tell what it's meant to say. If you can tell, this is not a strong suit of mine. This second one came out so much better. Now I feel like I need to redo the first one. My camera absolutely hates when it's trying to focus on white, so I'm so sorry if you have not been in focus this whole time, because I didn't even realize or think about the fact that I stuck a whole white paper just right down on this area. Just look at the difference between the three of those. I'm going to start just by adhering these right where I want them behind my photo. And then I'm just going to kind of overlap them like this. and have them both at a slight angle. Okay, so I just added my little one down here. I think I'm going to add my journaling into this little square down at the bottom. And then I also used some of those gold drops from Pink Fresh Studio just to kind of embellish a little bit. I'm still trying to decide if I want to keep this boo. I think I like the spooky a little bit more just because it takes up more space across the top. And I'm just going to glue this on because it feels pretty flimsy. And I don't want my tape runner to mess it up. So I think that's going to be all that I can really fit on that page. I am most likely going to add my journaling off camera just because I haven't really figured out exactly what I want to say yet. So I will probably do that off camera. And then I'm just going to adhere these together and then punch my holes. And I think I will be done. Since this album, the rings on it are just so small, I think I am just going to stick to like one story on each side, so 1, 2, and see how many I can fit in it. That way I can hopefully avoid having to use more than one album, but part of me is thinking that that might be unavoidable. So here is my first day in my October daily album. If you are documenting your October daily, please let me know in the comments below, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube, so I can give you a follow. That is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you made it to the end of this video, please leave me a skull emoji in the comments below to represent our little skull and pumpkin waffles. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.